Does Bhutan use GDP at all?
GDP, yes, we use GDP, but unlike most other economic development models, the Bhutanese G&H paradigm, the development paradigm, confines GDP to what it was actually intended by the author of GDP, who was in fact a person called Simon Kuznets, who developed this indicator during the Depression in the 1930s in the United States as a measure to determine how they were progressing out of depression. So it is a measure of goods and services produced at a particular time and exchanged in the marketplace. It is not a comprehensive measure for the development of a society, for the progress of a society, or for the well-being of a people. So it measures only a small aspect of development, and that is what we do. So it comprises a very small element of Bhutan's development measure as a whole.
But surely material wealth contributes to happiness as well.
Oh yes, material wealth to a certain extent, to a large extent, yes, but up to a certain level. You know, once you have crossed a certain threshold, no matter how much more you have, it does not lead to greater happiness. In terms of our need, we are obsessed with the desire to have more, acquire more, as a result of which we are destroying nature. We cannot continue to be guided by the indicator GDP, which promotes endless and limitless growth in a world with finite resources.
Do you feel that Bhutan is somehow going against the global trend?
No, we are not going against the global trend. We are doing what the world needs to do. And we are happy that the world is beginning to pay attention to what we are doing.
อุตสาหกรรมท่องเที่ยวเป็นแหล่งรายได้สำคัญของภูฏานสิ่งที่น่าสนใจคือที่ผ่านมาภูฏานมีนโยบายไม่รับนักท่องเที่ยวมากเกินไปหากจะไปต้องไปกับทัวร์เท่านั้นโดยต้องเสียภาษีท่องเที่ยวถึงวันละ 8,000 กว่าบาททั้งนี้เพื่อรักษาสภาพของสิ่งแวดล้อมรวมถึงขนบธรรมเนียมประเพณีดั้งเดิมที่อาจเสื่อมโทรมลงได้จากนักท่องเที่ยวที่เข้ามาเยอะเกินไปนี่คือหนึ่งในนโยบายที่สะท้อนถึงการให้ความสำคัญของความสุขมวลรวมประชาชาติมากกว่าความมั่งคั่งของประเทศ
Talking about tourism, how much has tourism impacted Bhutan, both in economic sense or in society sense?
Well, tourism is the sector that contributes the third highest revenue to the country. Aside from the economic benefits of tourism, I'm very happy to say, given how we have been promoting tourism in our country, it is having a very positive impact on our environment and culture as well. We have this policy of high value, low impact tourism. And since we are pursuing this policy rather faithfully, the kind of tourists that we get to visit Bhutan are normally ecologically very sensitive. And sometimes they are even more particular about ensuring that they do not leave any waste. And culturally, the fact that these tourists again tend to be culturally very sensitive and very appreciative of what we have achieved in terms of conserving, preserving, and promoting our culture, we find them to be most encouraging, inspiring in many ways. You know, Bhutanese, young and old, who come in contact with the tourists, are inspired by the kind of appreciation the tourists show for our culture, our way of life, and how we have managed to preserve these.
เมื่อปี 2013 ที่ผ่านมาภูฏานได้ประกาศนโยบายที่มีแนวทางในการพัฒนาประเทศแบบเฉพาะตัวอีกครั้งด้วยการมุ่งหน้าสู่การทำเกษตรอินทรีย์แบบ 100% โดยไม่ใช้สารเคมีเลยเป็นประเทศแรกของโลก
Bhutan is now also promoting organic farming.
Yes.
Is this becoming a top priority policy?
It was a major policy of the previous government, and the current government has been, in power for just a few months, and I'm convinced that they will continue to do what we started. We feel that agriculture, in order to be sustainable itself, as well as to ensure sustainability of not only human but life on earth, needs to become organic. When you talk about organic agriculture, there are those who say, oh, this is about reverting to primitive ways. But in fact, what we want to promote, and what many in the world today who are promoting organic agriculture are doing, is to take advantage of old, ancient wisdom, build on the best practices and the lessons that we have learned from the mistakes that we have made through conventional agriculture, and taking advantage of the new knowledge and the technology that we have, and putting these together towards what will and must become a more sustainable way of growing food and feeding our population without poisoning the soil, without poisoning the water, and without poisoning the people who consume through excessive use of chemicals and herbicides and so on.